Hi, welcome to the Milton Keynes College Transmit session for our prospective students who will be joining us in September. I'm just going to talk for a little bit to let other people join the session. I don't know where we can see who's joined, but we'll just wait for the numbers to go up a little bit. So first of all, thanks very much for joining us. We know that for everybody, but particularly for you guys that are in your GCSE year, you've had so much uncertainty to deal with since March. Hopefully this session will be the first opportunity for you to start getting answers to some questions, a bit of clarity. We know it's a changing situation for everybody, but we're doing our best to make sure that you're going to be as safe and supported as possible when you in September. If you've applied to us already, we'll be in touch with you, so keep an eye on your emails and posts and everything, because we'll be contacting you with details of the situation and progress of your application. But you can also find out more information for yourself. So have a look on our website. We've got a link to our reopening plan on our homepage. That's really easy to find. Also look at social media and things like that. That's where you'll find the latest information from us. The way this session is going to work is that I'll hand over to each of my colleagues who will be able to explain how things will work from their point of view in terms of things like what's going to happen on results day, how you enroll with us, how we're going to support you in terms of teaching, general wellbeing support next year, all those kind of practical things that you are going to want to know for when you're joining us in September. If you've got any questions, you might have questions already or questions that might pop up as you hear people talking, then just use the chat function, which you can see at the bottom of the screen. So you can just go to there and then ask your questions and we'll go through those. So first of all, I'm going to hand over to my colleague Penny, who'll tell you what she does and explain a bit about how we're going to be delivering teaching. Penny, we've actually got a question already, which is what's my timetable going to look like next year? When am I going to be getting that and what's it going to look like? So if you could go with that question, that would be great.
Thanks, Rebecca. Hello, I'm Head of Digital Learning at the college, and my job is to support staff to deliver online learning, and my team support you students and staff if they have any difficulty accessing their learning. In terms of the timetables, we've spent a long time looking at timetables to make sure that they work for you. The government have published guidance that we are following to ensure everyone stays safe. You will be in a bubble with all of those in your subject area, and there will be staggered start and end times across the college to minimise mass gathering of people. You will have to wear masks in communal areas, but not in the classroom. And we are working to ensure the maximum amount of time on campus. So there will be a bit still of online learning. But thinking of that, since March, we have had lots of experience of producing some really good online experiences. And we are making sure that that sort of experience is collaborative, communal. We use online conferencing like this for our online sessions so that you can do online group work, speak to the rest of your team. The key to us is to keep you safe, but a lot of our staff are very, very experienced in using technology for learning, and they are streaming practical sessions and recording practicals and other sessions. So the key thing is that the maximum time that we can give is on campus, but there will be a bit of online as well.
That's really helpful. Thank you, Penny. Sorry, there was another question that's just come up, which I might as well go to you now, if you're okay with that, about how students are going to be able to access IT. What provision is there for them to access IT?
Yeah, we have, what we're looking at is allowing a time on campus to access IT, bookable time in your bubble. So you can come in and work on campus and do your online sessions or do your assignment work. If you haven't got a good space to work at home or you haven't got access to IT, we're also looking at a loan system so that you can loan a laptop if you need to to take it home. So there will be access to IT if you need it. And one other thing to say though is if you've got your own device and you don't need a top-end device, it needs to be just something fairly simple, a Chromebook or something, you can bring it into college to use it, because we've got lots and lots of systems which allow you to take notes in class and things like that. So, and we've got really good Wi-Fi. We've really invested in our Wi-Fi, so you can bring your devices in and use them in college if you need to.
That's brilliant, thank you, Penny. So now I'm going to go to Tim. So Tim can give an overview about how we're going to be supporting your wellbeing at college.
Thank you, Rebecca. Hi, yeah, I'm Tim Gallagher. So I'm the manager for student development and support. So there's a few areas that actually covers. We've got support with your learning, which as long as you declare to us when you apply or at some point on your journey with us that you have a learning need, we can look to make support arrangements for you. That might include somebody supporting in class. As we've mentioned, some lessons might be taking place virtually. This is something we've been able to do during lockdown, is to actually have teaching assistants supporting within group taught classes online. We can also make provision around access arrangements for exams and things like that. So if that's something you've had in the past, it's well worth letting us know about that. We also, yeah, as Rebecca said, we support with your wellbeing, but also your resilience as well. We've got a team of advisors, we have a part-time counsellor, and we've got lots of partners that we can make referrals out to. We work from an initial assessment of your needs and we'll be able to offer up to 6 sessions with a review, but it's all about building resilience skills and supporting you to find ways of coping. We've got a student engagement team as well who support with getting involved in wider college life. This might be through something called Student Voice, which is kind of, you might have experienced it as school council, that sort of thing. But it's where you represent your specific area and you can bring grievances or things that have gone well or your opinions to a meeting that happens across the college. Lots of action happens around Student Voice. It's a really positive thing to be involved in. It allows us to know what's going on from your experience at your level at college. We also host clubs. We do events throughout the year. We partner up with Youth MK from the council, who are able to provide direct access to a youth worker service as well. But all of this, it begins with an induction, which you'll all experience at the very start of your year, and that's your chance to really get to understand all those services in a little more detail and start meeting faces as well. One of the other teams we do work with as well is Russell, who you're going to meet soon, and that's the career service, who provide a wealth of IG for you guys. So that's it for us.
That's perfect, thanks Tim. Yeah, a nice introduction to Russell. So Russell's our careers lead at the college, so he is going to give you a bit of an overview about how we'll support you with your next steps.
Good morning everyone, I'm Russell, I'm one of the careers team at Milton College, and so yeah, we're here to support both students and the community in their progression and all of their employability. So when you are a student at the college and perhaps you want help and guidance and advice in getting a part-time job to fit around your studies, or help with getting that work placement that you need to do as part of your course, you can come to and access the team to get support in making those applications and putting your best foot forward. And when it's time to start thinking about what you want to do after your course, perhaps apprenticeships or university or getting a job, and thinking about which sort of roles it might be best following on from your course, you can come and access the team as well for all of that support. We've been helping students over the past few months online through some of the platforms which Penny's talked about, like this, via Zoom or via Teams, doing one-to-one appointments like that, and that's really useful. Students have found that really helpful and really useful, but we've also been helping out in student groups and lead-in sessions that students have been part of online as well. Come September, you'll find out how to contact us and get hold of us in your induction, but you can also find out about us now on the careers pages on the website, and in the new academic year, we'll be both on-site and online, so you can get access us and get help both ways, whichever you feel best is most suitable for you. Thank you.
That's really helpful. Thank you, Russell. So now in terms of introducing colleagues, this is going to be Kay, the last member of the colleagues who's on the call. So Kay's going to talk to you about all the practical stuff about how to enrol at college and what's going to happen after results day. So over to you, Kay.
Thank you, Rebecca. Hi, my name's Kay and I am responsible for the whole admissions process and also for bursary, which is around financial support. So the first thing to say is if you have already made an application with us and you've had an interview, either if you came in physically or if you had an interview online, and if you've received an offer, which might have been through a letter or an email, if you've had one of those, please look out in your inbox this week, because we are now inviting people to enrol. So you will get an email and it will invite you to enrol on the course that you've been offered on, and then you can go ahead and you can do that now. It will be an enrolment which will just depend on your GCSE results, but it will be based on what you've told people at interview. So please keep an eye out on that. You will get a text reminder if you haven't sort of come across it. It's worth just checking in your junk, because sometimes our emails do go to junk, so just make sure that you've had a look there. So that's happening in the next week or so. So anybody who's already applied to us will be getting an invitation to enrol basically this week. And then the process after that will be that on GCSE results day, which is the 20th, you will get your GCSE results. It depends on how on which school you go to and how you get those. Some are being emailed out. Some of them you'll be logging into a site to find them out. But whenever you've got your results, you will then be getting an email again from us, and we'll be asking you to take a picture of your results, of your certificate, and then send it back to us. And then you'll be contacted by the area where you're going to be studying, and they can just make sure that you're going to be on the right course. It will be at that chance that at that stage, you'll be able to maybe change up or down a level depending on your results. And then we can finish the enrolment process. So that's if you've already applied. If you haven't applied and you know what you want to study, it's not too late. You can still apply to the college. So you just go onto the website and click apply. So that's fine. Then if you haven't applied and you don't want to, we are running some advisory days for people to book a session and come in and talk to us. So if you're on this call because you're really not sure about coming to college and you haven't made an application and you really don't know what to do, there will be the opportunity to come and talk to us after GCSE results. Again, all the details will be on the website. But I really strongly suggest if you do know what you want to do, please do make an application. That's the easiest way of doing it. The other thing that I look after is bursary. So that's financial support for people who've got a low income. And that, again, is going live on the website to be able to apply for that online. That should be live really from next week, we're hoping. So you go on the website and you fill in the form around that, and then you're asked to submit some evidence of household income. So you will need parents to help you with that. And then you can get some financial support around traveling to college, food if appropriate, kit, trips and things like that, resources. So again, it's worth having a look at that if you think that you might be eligible for some bursary. So that's kind of my area and what I'm looking at.
Thanks, Kay. So hopefully we've had a couple of people asking questions, can I still apply to college? And hopefully you've heard Kay's answer there, that yes, you can still apply. Go on the website. It'll be easier if you can apply now before results day. But if you want some help, then you can come into college, book an appointment to come in after results day. So that's that question answered. Now I'm going to go to the other questions. So we've got questions about how many days a week people are going to be coming in for particular courses. So a question about the hairdressing course, what time would they come in at? What time does college finish at? Things like that. So Penny, you okay to answer that?
Yeah, it depends on which course it is. generally, what's happening is that your vocational subject, so hairdressing, would be over 3 days. And if you have to do English and maths, that will be happening on Thursday and Friday. So it might be that you have to do something on every day, or it might be that you don't. It depends on your actual circumstance. But when you come in on your induction day, you'll get your full timetable and see what's happening. Also, because we are staggering start and finish times, it depends which course you're on. It depends what time college finishes, but we go up to 5 o'clock generally if you're on a daytime course rather than an evening course. So it could be that you finish at 5 o'clock.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that, Penny. So do you want to give out the start date of when, because that's another question we've got. So when's induction starting? And
yes, induction will be in the week beginning the 7th of September, and you'll be contacted about when to come in. And you'll come in small groups to have an induction and get to see around the college, and then get your full timetable and meet your teachers, and they'll be able to answer more questions. But just on that, I noticed there was a question about how many people in a class size, and again, class sizes are going to be small to allow for social distancing. So we are looking at that, making sure that the class sizes fulfill the government guidelines. So
yeah, in terms of, yeah.
Sorry, can I just add something about induction, just to say that that will be when you'll be getting your ID badge as well. So everyone has a lanyard with an ID card. If you're going to be, if you're going to be doing all the enrolment remotely, which most people will be, you'll be sending us a picture, and then we'll be printing your ID card off for you, ready for when you come in induction. So that's when you'll get that. You'll also be asked to sign a learning agreement, which is just some paperwork just to say that, you know, you're on the course that you think that you're on, and so on. And then it's just around the kind of agreeing that you'll be a college student. So you'll be asked to do that as well during induction. So that's when you'd get your badge and induction. And that will all be the week beginning the 7th. Again, we're just trying to formalise and finalise the dates for each different group, because what we don't want is hundreds and hundreds of students all arriving at the same time. So we're just working through that, and that should be available very soon about when you'll actually be in college on that week.
Excellent. Kay, here's another one for you. So when you're enrolling online, do you need to know GCSE results beforehand, or is that not a problem?
No, so you will have been sent an offer. So your enrolment will be based on what you've told people at your interview, and so you'll be sent an individual link to enrol. No, we're going on at the moment. We're going on what you've told people that you're likely to get, and that's what you'll be enrolling on at the moment. It is a conditional one, depending on if you've said to everybody that you're going to get 5 GCSEs on you actually getting that. But no, as I say, you'll get an email on GCSE results day where you will be asked to send in your GCSE results. So just go ahead. If you've got if you get the email this week, go ahead, click and just enrol.
Brilliant, Kay. And so if people have been offered a place, do they still need to enrol? Because that's another question that we've had.
Yeah, being offered a place isn't actually an enrolment. So quite a lot of people are offered places and they'll accept them. It doesn't mean to say that they're actually going to come. So you do actually need to enrol. It is like the next stage. An offer is kind of a provisional, well, we'll have you, but we don't know if you actually want to come to us yet. So by actually completing the enrolment form is you saying, yes, we do actually want to come to you. Can I just say, some people have got more than one offer. So some people, and that's fine, some people like to maybe have a look at a couple of areas. So childcare and care, for example, is very common, where people will apply for both and then maybe get an offer on both. You will get an email, a separate email for each course that you've been offered on. Now, you can go ahead and enrol for both. However, when you actually come to study, you can only do one course, obviously. So I would suggest if you've been offered on more than one course, think really carefully if you can and just enrol on one. If you enrol on two at this stage, it is okay, but once you've got your results, you will have to make a choice and go ahead and finalise the offer with just one. So just have a think about that, but it might be that you get more than one email.
Brilliant. Another practical question, Kay. What happens if people don't have a photo for their photo ID?
I mean, you will need to have a photo for when you actually come. So if you can't manage to get a photo, then if you can let us know in the admissions team, we will be able to take your photo when you start coming in an induction. What we'll probably do is set up a table where you can come and have your photo taken, and we can then print the card off for you then. But if at all possible, if you can get a photo, that would be really helpful. Penny,
Can I ask? It can just be a photo that they've taken on their phone, can't it?
Yeah,
A passport photo.
Yeah, it can be, and yeah. So hopefully most people should be able to get some kind of photo, but it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean to say you can't come to college. We do have some webcams and we can take photos once you come in on induction.
The reason the photos are important is a kind of security thing, so that we know that they're coming into college are who they're meant to be. So that's why everybody has to have a photo on their ID. But yeah, it doesn't need to be one taken in a photo booth. It's
No, not at all.
taken on your phone, because then you can upload it more easily.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, we've got a few kind of maybe a bit more well-being kind of questions. So maybe more for you, Tim. Do people have to eat in the canteen when they're here, or can they choose when and how they want to eat?
They can choose how and where they eat, absolutely. It's not just a canteen space that will be accessible. We've got outside space at the college as well, which we do a lot of work to promote the usage of as well, because it's really beneficial getting out and about. So yeah.
And what about if somebody's got any problems? They have issues when they are at college and they're worried about maybe bullying or stuff like that. What happens around that, Tim?
So we'd always advise you let us know, and there's loads of opportunities for you to do that if there's any problems you're experiencing, especially around bullying stuff. I'm happy to say we don't really get too many incidences of bullying as such at college. It's a very different environment, I think, and one of the big differences is we do treat everyone as adults essentially as they come in the doors, so it's quite different from the school environment. Yeah, you can let your tutors know, you can let the support teams know. There are email addresses that you can email to if that's a better way of doing it for you as well. But just keep us in the loop. Just to reassure anyone who is worried possibly on that end of things, you all do this in your first week at college, but everyone signs a code of conduct, which is the set rules essentially for being part of the community at Milton Keynes College, and within that it shows that there's these levels of respect that we expect from you, and tolerance of each other, and there's some really key things that go on there, and that's our reference point if anyone does not abide by those rules as well.
Excellent. Russell, I think this might be one for you. So somebody's asking if they can get a part-time job or something if they want to earn money while they're at college. Is that going to be possible?
Yeah, so it definitely is possible, and something which would actually be really helpful for you if you're able to secure a job that fit around your studies and doesn't impact on the time that you need to dedicate to your studies. Just remember, there's a lot of work you need to do, and sometimes even there's a work placement that you have to fit in as well. So as long as it's not negatively impacting on the time that you want to dedicate to your course, part-time job is really beneficial, not just for the money, but for the experience it's going to put on the CV and the wider range of skills that it's going to give you. So when you do come to make the step after MK College, you're much better prepared. So we really try and encourage people that if they do have time, and if there is something that takes their fancy that they can apply to, they can get to, it doesn't impact negatively on the time they're going to put towards their course, go for it.
Excellent. Thanks, Russell. Kay, this is probably one back again for you, about overseas applications and what evidence people are going to need if they're applying to come to college from overseas. Are you okay to answer that one?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it very much depends, but we would flag that as an overseas application in the admissions department. So all I can say on that really, because there would be lots of different circumstances, is that the admissions team would get in contact with you and ask you to bring in the evidence that they would need for your particular circumstances. So it might be that we ask you to take some pictures and to send that over to us, or to come in to the office with the evidence that we would need. Sorry, it's a bit of a generic answer, but obviously there's so many different circumstances. But we would make sure that we've got the evidence, and that would be done on an individual basis. So you watch out for an email, and then we would ask from the admissions department for you to send what we need in for you.
And what about whether it will be people will be able to study at Milton Keynes College from abroad, study virtually with us?
Again, it depends on the circumstances. If you've been in the country for a certain amount of time, or if you're an EU member, then that's okay. But absolute international students, we don't actually, as a college, have an international capacity to take international students. So it would very much depend on you, on your age, on where your parents are. So I think, again, just watch out for the admissions team. They're the experts, and they'd be able to send you the information that you need to answer any questions.
But you will need to come into college, so you won't really be able to study abroad if you're doing...
No, we can't, no. We don't take international students to study in Milton Keynes. We don't have a licence to take international students, no.
Excellent. Penny, got a couple of questions for you about laptops. So are there any laptops that you would recommend that people would use for college work? And also, if somebody doesn't have a laptop, can they get one, hire one, whatever, from the college?
If you're looking to buy a laptop and you are not studying a course that needs that does work in a computer lab, like games animation or something like that, then you only need something like a Chromebook, because our systems are all in the cloud. So you can access Word online and everything online. You don't need a powerful sort of machine to do that. But if you do have one, also by being a student at the college, you will get access to the free Microsoft Office suite that you can download on up to 5 devices at home. So you don't have to buy Word or Excel or anything like that either. You'll get that via the college. What we are doing, if you haven't got your own laptop at home, as I said before, you can book in to come on campus and use our facilities and the specialist software that we have. Also, but that will be in your bubble. Also, that it may be possible to loan a laptop overnight. At the moment, around the college, we have laptop cabinets where you just, with your card, get a laptop out and use it where in your class or wherever you need to. So that facility has been available for quite a while in terms of loaning laptops.
Brilliant, thanks Penny. We've got a few people who are asking very sensible, very practical questions. Things like, how long are lunch breaks, and can learners leave the campus at lunchtime? So I don't know who wants to answer those.
I could say, yeah, people can leave campus. What we're trying to do is stagger lunch breaks so that people don't meet together. So again, you stay in your bubble, and the actual canteen space is open, but it's not open to sell food. So you'll need to bring your own lunch in. And where possible, you can eat it then in your classroom, in your bubble, in your class group, if you want to. So there's a bit of flexibility around that. But again, when you're thinking about leaving campus, think about, social distancing when you go out.
I believe that they're trying to get some more food vans and so on, so as well for outside for the students to go to at lunchtime. I think there's a chat around trying to get some more provisions so people can I mean, people, you can walk into, you know, some students walk into Morrison's and so on, but it's a bit of a way. So I think the idea is to get some more food vans, but again, we're kind of.
Well, we've got a few kind of COVID specific questions now. So we've used the word bubble quite a lot. What do we mean by that? How many people might be in a bubble? And also another really important question, do we have to wear face masks in college?
Shall I go for that? So a bubble is really a group of people that you are with for a lot of the time. I know it's a term that nobody would have thought about using a year ago, and now it's talked about all the time. But we talk about household bubbles. So it's really a group of people that you're with all of the time, that you don't necessarily have to be quite so worried about social distancing with. Now, the rules around whether you social distancing within a bubble or whether you don't depend on different schools, on different colleges, on different environments. But if you're with somebody all the time, the idea is that the risk is less. Now, so we're talking about bubbles. So if you're with an IT group, for example, you can be with the IT group all the time. The idea is that you wouldn't then mix with, I don't know, care, for example. They would be in a bubble of their own. So a bubble is a very COVID word, which is, as I say, it's a very new term, but we're now using it all over the place. In terms of face masks, we are going to be very strongly encouraging people to wear face masks in communal areas, in going to the toilet, in corridors, when you're coming in reception and places like that. This will be for the staff and for the students. If you can wear one, we do understand that there are some people who are exempt from wearing them, and that will be no different in the college. So wherever you might be mixing with a group that you're not with all of the time, we will be very strongly encouraging face masks. In the actual classroom itself, there won't be the requirement to wear any face masks. The requirement will be for the teacher to be 2 meters away from the students, which is what the government guidelines tell us, but we won't be asking students to wear face masks in the classroom, but we will be asking teachers and students, where possible, to wear them in mixed areas and in corridors. We will, obviously, if you're coming on public transport, it's a requirement to wear them anyway, so hopefully you will have face masks that you can bring in. Again, they can be the cloth ones that, you know, as long as they cover your nose and your mouth, any kind of face mask is fine.
Excellent. So again, we've talked about bubbles and classes and all the rest of it. So how are maths and English classes going to work? Who's going to be in those classes? Are those going to be bubbles, or how's that delivery going to happen?
Where possible, it's with your bubble, but the English and maths classes at the moment are planned to be online, and we have had a great experience about delivering that online over the last few months, and the experience has been very good, and students have actually produced very good work by doing their classes in that way. So we're looking at the moment, and things might change, and that's how we are delivering it.
Fantastic. So again, now to some more practical questions. We've only got a few left, so hopefully not be too late finishing. So what advice can we provide on getting a bus pass and finding out about transport to college?
Yeah, so Arriva are the main, you know, the company that do most of the buses in Milton Keynes, although they're not the only one, but they're the main one. If you're on bursary, we would work with you and we would provide you a bus pass. If you're not on bursary, that you can get a reduced price bus pass from Arriva, which is sort of done through the council. You'd go to reception when you come in, and they can give you I think it's called no, I can't even remember what it's called, but anyway, it's a bus.
5-in-1?
Yeah, that's the one, and it's a reduced price for students. So you can get one of those. The bus timetables, we do actually have some copies, but if you go on the council website, they've got all the bus timetables there. Bletchley is literally just over the road from the train station, so it might be worth having a look at train if you're able to, for getting to Bletchley. And
what about bikes, Kate?
Yeah, for bikes, we've just invested in a lot more bike lockers, because I have a feeling that a lot more people are going to want to cycle. So we do have some bike lockers, but we've just got some more, so we're going to be doubling the amount of bike lockers that we've got. For those, you just need to bring a padlock, and then you can use the bike locker, and you just padlock it in. And they've got CCTV in front of all the bike lockers as well, just to be fairly secure. So,
what about on-site storage for people to? Are there lockers or things that people can?
No, I don't think we've.
No,
I don't think we've got any lockers.
And especially at the moment, we're trying to obviously minimise the amount of stuff.
Yeah.
People touching
but
things.
So we do have bike lockers if you want to come in on a bike. As indeed,
not anywhere to
really
save
recommend
your
cycling. So.
Okay. So if somebody doesn't meet the requirements for English and maths, but they're already doing functional skills outside college, how are we going to handle that? What happens there?
I would suggest that that's a conversation to have with their tutor. As I explained before, after GCSE results day, you will get a phone call if you've done the online enrolment. Every single person will get a phone call from some tutor, a teacher, or a course team leader, or somebody from the teaching area. So talk to them about it, because that's quite a specific situation. So just raise it with the tutor when they call you after GCSE results day, and talk to them about it.
Then that leads nicely into another question. How do people get in touch if they want to get in touch with a particular tutor? How do they do that?
The best way at the moment, to be honest, is through email. Or you can phone the college on the main switchboard, and they can try and put you through. A lot of the teachers are on holiday at the moment. I would suggest that you can always phone and get the email address of the tutor. You might already have their address from your interviews, for example. So a lot of them will have been done online. So you might have the email address of somebody. But yeah, I would suggest email is the best way at the moment. Just bear with us at the moment, just because a lot of the teachers are on holiday for another week, but people will start to come back really from the end of next week. But you can always phone the main reception and ask to be put through, and you can always leave a message or try and speak to an administrator. So by phone or by email, really.
Brilliant. What's happening about trips this year? Does anybody want that one?
At the moment, I don't believe that we've got any planned. I think the again, the government guidelines around trips is sort of changing. So at the moment, I'm not sure that any particularly be happening straight away. Physical trips. I know Penny's been working on a lot of kind of virtual trips and virtual experiences to companies to look at kind of virtual work experience, for example. I believe that the government guidelines is that trips can maybe take place going forward, as long as you've filled in, all the many forms that will need to be done, and you've looked at all the risk assessments around there. So at the moment, the college aren't planning on any physical trips immediately as soon as term starts, but we will be obviously wanting to enhance the student experience wherever possible. And so if it is possible for a physical trip to take place, we will work as hard as we can on making that happen. And if not, Penny has done a job on getting some real good virtual experiences, which actually in some of them are giving students opportunities that they might not have had in the real world, to go and explore places where they might not have had the opportunity to do before. But again, if there's a particular trip that you're interested in, have a chat with the member of staff when they call you after GCSE results day.
So what happens if you fail your maths and English a second time? Will you have to do another level 1 course, or will you be able to move on to a level 2 course? What happens? Things like that.
Again, I don't want to say talk to your tutor, but I think it very much depends on your own personal circumstances. we encourage and support students to stay with us as much as possible. That might be that you end up going to talk to Russell, actually. I don't know, Russell, if you want to say anything about, students where they might need to be redoing maths and English and other kind of opportunities that might be available for them.
Yeah, so obviously those maths and English grades, depending on what level you're doing, are really important about opening the doors to the progression at your next level, alongside your attendance and your general kind of attitude that your tutor is going to be taking attention of in your course, and also the grades you get in your main vocational subject. They're going to be looking for good grades to show that you're ready to progress on to the next level. But those English and maths grades, if you do miss what you need to progress, then like Kay said, you've got to have that conversation with your tutor to see if they are going to take the decision about whether they think that you're ready to progress onto that higher level. And if they decide, for whatever reason, that your English and maths is then going to be a problem, or perhaps mean that you're not ready to submit work that's required for the next stage, then you might be wanting to consider moving to a different course at a lower level across the college. And that's where you can come and talk to me and my team, and then we can help you look at other options, both in college or outside of college, which will allow you to carry on progressing maybe in something that you want to do, but will give you a chance to get those English and maths grades, because they're really important, not just for progression in college, but for when it comes time to apply for jobs and apprenticeships. You're going to see a lot of those are going to have in their entry requirements, in their applications process, pretty hard, standards for you to hit on your English and maths. They're not going to be that flexible about employers unless you've got lots of other great things to talk about. So your English and maths is really important to do what you can to get those grades that you need to progress.
The final question we've got, which I think I'll be able to answer, is can you take time out of college to do things like driving lessons? Oh, another question's just come in, but I'll answer this one. Obviously, we want you to take part in as much of the taught sessions as possible. There will be space in your timetable to have things like driving lessons, or as we said about getting part-time work. So it's obviously going to be better for you if you can schedule it outside your taught sessions. Sorry, another question. Are entry requirements more flexible this year due to COVID and the fact that grades are only predicted?
When you get your GCSE results, they are GCSE results that you're being allocated. So they are sort of predicted grades, but they are actually counting as official GCSE results. We always try and be as flexible with individuals as possible, but we do have entry criteria that we try and keep to, really because we need to make sure that you're able to be able to study and to get the best out of the course. But just to say that within the first sort of few weeks of being in college, there is the option to change levels or to change course. We've got a little bit more flexibility right at the beginning. So I think that we'll be using that time a lot more flexibly to maybe move people around if you feel that you're not on the right course and with your GCSE results.
Okay, well, we don't have any other questions left. I hope we've answered and provided a bit more clarity, as we were hoping to, for everybody who took part. So yeah, good luck with everything. Please stay in touch with us if you need to. We are here to help you, but just be aware that obviously because of things like social distancing and trying to make sure we don't have too many people on site, we're going to be really busy answering phone calls, so we might not be able to get back to you straight away. And we would not recommend anybody just comes to college to get advice. You're going to need to make an appointment to do that. You'll be able to do that from our website. So thanks very much. As I said, good luck with everything, and we'll see you in September. Cheers. Bye-bye.